Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's most talented stars, and we've got one for you today. James Keegan is the man who is holding together the brand new production of Lord of the Dance, which is taking to the stage in its new home at the Playhouse Theatre until January 3rd, 2016. Dangerous Games is the new production, and he's the man who is wowing audiences with his remarkable talent. James, how you doing?
Hi Alex, how you doing?
Well, I'm all right, but not really so good after researching you. I've been sent the pictures. I'm looking at your career. Let me tell you, James, I'm a deeply unattractive man and very unfit. It must be fabulous to be you.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but no, I've been quite fortunate of late. Had some great opportunities with Lord of the Dance to perform in some great places and do some great shows, so... Yeah, so it's not bad at the minute, I suppose you could say.
I mean, we look at these images of you. You're living the rock star life. I suppose when you see Billy Elliot, it's sort of the opposite of that. I mean, this is a rock concert, isn't it?
It is, and Michael Flatley, the creator of the show and my boss, so to speak, he always says, rock concerts sell out arenas, theatres all over the world, and we're an Irish dance show, and we still manage to do that and still manage to get people up on their feet. You know, they're exhausted by the time they leave and clapping their hands and dancing in the aisles. So, we definitely, that's kind of what we'd be aiming for in a way.
There's two things that surprise me about you. One is how remarkably talented you are, but two, the discipline you must have. You've never known a life where you can eat McDonald's 3 times a day and sit in front of the telly and do nothing. I mean, this has been your life, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, but I mean, like anything, you get used to it. If I'm not saying I never go out and eat a burger or, and whatever it might be, eat a chocolate bar. You can do things as long as you're disciplined and you make up for it. It doesn't happen often, unfortunately, but, I've just had a week off here, so I've been catching up out with some meals for my family and things like that. So you do have to make sure you're disciplined, but, you reap the rewards in the end.
And I guess there's no greater compliment than being in the world's most famous dance show. Let's go back to the beginning, though. I mean, as a child there you were dancing and from a very early age winning competitions. It was an extraordinary childhood.
It was, yeah. I started when I was 4 years old. Soon became involved in the competitions. My mum and dad would bring me all over the country, over to Ireland. Eventually, when I was about 8 or 9, over to America. I was really fortunate, to be honest. I was winning major titles from an early age and carried that on up until I was about 16 when I was lucky enough to be offered a place in the show. So it kind of was just a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. The years flew by, and before I knew it, I'd watched Lord of the Dance in my hometown when I must have been about 98. I think I was just roughly 9 or 10 years old. Remember meeting Michael Flatley at the stage door. He signed my program, and there it was 6 or 7 years later, and I was up on stage doing it myself.
Is Flatley the benchmark for any dancer who wants to be in a show? Is he the guy you look to and go, right, if I can just be a tenth as good as him, I'm going to have made it?
Yeah, I think so, because he created the show. He took it to a complete different level. Nobody thought Irish dancing could be as cool, could be as sexy, could be as energetic. It'd been very traditional up until that point, so he just made it. He turned it into showbiz. So I think every person does look to Michael and see what he's done over the years, and you would say he's the benchmark, yeah.
Talk to me about the discipline of what you do. You wake up in the morning and you can eat what? You have to go to the gym, or is the show a workout in itself?
When I'd be home now, I do quite a lot of gym work. So we get prepared before a tour on a run like we are going to be in the Playhouse. It's quite tiring. It's 2 hours of dancing every night. You're in your tap shoes, you're banging the floor as hard as you can. You're running around the stage. It is quite tiring. So we do minimal kind of gym work when we'd be actually during the run. But I'd go to the gym now quite a lot. It's been this morning. Obviously, you have to eat quite a lot of calories because we burn so many calories when we're dancing. So just all the things, I suppose, football player do, tennis player, a normal athlete, just taking lots of food and liquids and look after your body.
I notice in your pictures you're very muscled and lean. What's it like being attractive?
God, I don't know about that. I don't know. Thank you. I'll take the compliment, but I don't know. It's some of them pictures There was one up outside the Dominion where we were last summer, so that was quite strange to look with my shirt off. That was quite strange to look at on the way into work every day.
To look back on this when you're 8 is going to be sensational, because I look at myself and, well, I might be in Shrek, but that's about it,
Yeah, to be honest, it was when I first seen the pictures, you kind of looking up there, and it was a surreal feeling. It's amazing in one sense, and in the other sense, it'd be quite almost not embarrassed, but you're like, wow, that's a big picture of me with my shirt off. But no, like you say, it's something to look back on in years to come, and I'll be pinching myself that it happened.
I've asked a lot of megastars this question. I'm going to ask it you today. Why you? Because there are so many people competing for your role to be the lead dancer in this production. Why you?
I think, like you mentioned before, you have to be disciplined, you have to be driven. I've known from an early age when I went and watched Michael in the show that I wanted to be in the show, and it wasn't just being in the show. I wanted that lead part. And I think it's the same in any profession, to be honest. It's just about being driven and know what you're wanting and going out and taking it. And, I have worked hard over the years, but I've been lucky, I've been fortunate, and things have just worked out for me. So I just feel very lucky, to be honest.
And again, there can't be anything more thrilling than having that ensemble behind you and the band and all that stuff. I guess it is as sexy as it can be in your profession.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It is definitely the sexiest Irish dancer out there, the most energetic, the most colourful, and that's what Michael's always tried to do with his shows. He's moved with the times, he's used the latest technology out there, the latest costumes, so it all comes together. And like you say, to have all the dancers behind me dancing in the straight line, doing all the exact same footwork, it's quite a spectacle. So people seem to really, really enjoy it, and that's what gets us through it every night. We feed off that on the stage.
I suppose the risk is because you're pushing yourself so hard, so long, 8 times a week, things can go wrong, injuries can occur. I guess that's the thing that you have to be most wary of, because if you're out the show, there's nothing you can do, is there?
Yeah, well, that's why we take extra precaution. We've got physios on board with us, plenty of massage, and just like I said before, we don't actually, people think we get more injuries or we should get more injuries than we do, but your ankles and your joints and your legs, they become quite used to it every night, used to the same movements every single night. And like I said, we do look after ourselves with strengthening and, eating the right food and liquids. So we're quite lucky in that sense, that we don't be out more often.
Tell me about this production. I've seen Lord of the Dance before. This is a new version of it. What do we get this year?
Well, like I just mentioned, it's moved with the times. We've got robot dancers in there now, and we've got the latest LED screen up at the back as our set. We have brand new costumes. We've got some new choreography in there. The storyline has changed slightly. So it's moved on now. It's still all about the spirit's dream, and the good versus evil love story entwined. That's still there. So there's plenty more going on, and it's just like, I suppose, in a sense, the old Lord of the Dance, but bigger, better, different storyline, and even more exciting.
Help me with how you begin to remember it. I just look at you guys in awe, because it's not just every minute you've got to learn something, every 10 seconds you've got to learn something. It's literally every half a second, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's training from a young child. We've been learning stuff since we were children, and different routines and different rhythm patterns. So, believe it or not, once you get into the show and we're learning all the routines and the footwork, it does kind of become autopilot for us, which is good, because then you don't, it sounds crazy, but you don't actually have to think much about what you're doing with your feet, which means then you can concentrate more on the performance and your upper body and interact with the crowd and your arms. So yeah, you would probably think that we're thinking every half a second, but strangely enough, we're not.
How old are you now, James?
Other things. Just turned 29.
What a remarkable life and career. Sensational talent. You're blessed. I guess this is what you were put on this planet to do, because you do it so amazingly, so well, and you were chosen to do it.
Yeah, definitely, and you've said it right there. I do feel blessed, but very fortunate that I've been able to take over Michael Flatley's role. It's such an amazing role. He was such an is such an amazing guy, and was such an amazing character in the role. So it's it's a difficult one to follow, but I'm just loving every minute, and we'll continue to do so for many more years, I hope.
Oh, if I could just be you for 5 seconds, what a life it must be. Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance Dangerous Games appears at the Playhouse Theatre until January the 3rd, 2016. You can get tickets by going to Ticketmaster. Of course, you can see James Keegan starring in Lord of the Dance until January. Good to talk to you, mate.
Thank you, Alex.